Welcome to Being Friends with Jess and Toni-ann, an inside look at our friendship, millennial things, sports, and pop culture. Come laugh with us, or maybe at us, and let's be friends.
Hello.
Hi. Whoa, what's up?
This weather has me in a mood because it's raining again.
Yeah, it's gonna rain for like the whole week.
I'm so over it.
I know, because now that the weather's warmed up, like seasonal depression should have been over, but then here comes the rain.
No, exactly. Like daylight savings is this weekend. We're supposed to be happy. No. It's just literally raining on our parade. Literally.
And it's not even April yet, so it's not even like April showers yet.
Don't even remind me. Don't remind me.
This is the March showers.
Ugh, I'm over it. I'm so over it already. And like, it's literally been gray for like months. Did we move to Washington and I was unaware?
No, because I would be running into Meredith Grey and wanting to murder her. It's a very depressing start to our podcast this week.
It just got like very aggressive very quickly.
Just the fact that we started recording, we were just like, hey.
Like you couldn't be like, no, then we would find Edward Cullen. Like you gotta go for Meredith and want to kill her.
I still think I have that song down pat.
A good song. Anyway.
You know, the best way to combat those rainy blues is a cocktail.
Yeah, what did you make?
It does not look as appealing as I thought it was. So I had this cava, which is like Spanish prosecco, essentially.
Oh, I thought you meant you ate cava for dinner, and I was like, that is not Spanish.
Cava is the beverage. It's prosecco, but Spanish. And I mixed it with a dash of pomegranate juice, thinking it'd be like a light pink or like a cranberry, and it kind of just came out brown. It came out like iced tea looking.
Yeah, that straight up looks like sweet tea.
Recognize the glass though? Are you the one that gave me this one?
No, Melissa gave you that one.
Melissa gave me this one. I knew somebody, obviously, since bridesmaid on it, somebody gave me it, but
no, but it looks like you know, like the really bad, like cheap wine. Like it looks like that.
Yeah, like the I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what the name of it is, but okay.
No, it's actually like my parents brought it home from Spain, so maybe it's also because it was a little old. It wasn't as fizzy when I opened it.
Maybe.
I mean, it is fizzy, but it's not as fizzy as like a fresh bottle.
How does it taste?
It tastes fine. It's just like a pomegranate Bellini, essentially, or whatever you want to call it. A spritz.
Okay.
I like pomegranate.
I'm doing my little screwball whiskey again, but this time I left my bulldog rock, and it's really hard to see, but you see his little face. He's a bulldog. So anyway, you put him in your cup. So now you just pop him out.
It's like a full dog.
Yeah, he's a dog.
That's really cute. So
Williams-Sonoma, I don't know if they have them still, but then he like face plants into the whiskey. So
he does his best.
It's not as aesthetically pleasing as you would like, but yeah. So like the ice mold's like this, and then his face is in this part. You push it together, and then he freezes. But they have like roses. They have all different ones. So if you're interested, Williams-Sonoma.
I see those all over Amazon too.
Not sponsored, but
no. Cheers. And I see that they basically any shape you want, like on Amazon too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It's different.
It is fun. I wish I drank whiskey because like that's like a fun way to differentiate your drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mother loves old fashions, and she just got from Shein like the big like ball of ice, like mold.
Oh yeah, those are nice.
She loves that, but
whatever. Yeah. So my ridiculous thing is really ridiculous. And it's gonna tumble into like a plethora of topics. So I think you should go first.
Okay.
I promise I'll go first next week because I keep making you go first.
I don't mind going first. It's just your topics tend to spin out of control more than mine.
It's just There will be an explanation of how my brain works during my ridiculous thing.
I mean, that's usually how your brain works anyway, but yeah, exactly. My ridiculous thing is, and I wish I remembered exactly what the thing is that I was thinking of. I wrote it in our note, like phrases that piss me off beyond belief. And it's like, there was a specific phrase that obviously made me go into my note and write it. Do you think I put the phrase with it? Absolutely not. So I don't remember. But
you know what I do? I make a second note about the note that I put in our note so that you don't know what it is about, but I know exactly what it's
good.
about.
I'll do that in the future because you know my memory's shot. So I think it must have been something I was reading, or I don't know, but just phrases that are like overused and make no sense and just drive me crazy. Like, oh, it was one of my books. Like, he wore a shit-eating grin. Like, why is that? Like, who came up with that? Because like I feel like if you were eating shit, like why would you be
wouldn't be
smiling?
grinning. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that.
That's a great point.
Is that something
See,
like sexual?
you put that note in, and I'm like, wow, there's definitely so many phrases that piss me off, and then I could not think of a single one.
I know, they like escape your brain when you
They
like need to think
do.
of one. I do also, it is what it is. Sometimes I say it ironically, but if somebody says it to you seriously, it pisses me off.
Right.
Like if you're just using it like it is what it is, like that I can understand. But when somebody's trying to give you life advice and they're like, it is what it is, I'm like, don't. That drives me crazy.
Save it for yourself.
Yeah, like that's fine. Oh my God, I don't know. I'm back to the shit-eating grin for a minute. I'm still not over this. I don't know if you missed my first comment. Is that like a sexual thing? Like, what? Why would that have come to be?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's a great, valid question, honestly. I think it's a fantastic question. I don't know where that would come from because I have the same logic as you. Like, if I was eating shit, I would not be happy.
Right. So if somebody knows the origin, please like comment on our page or something.
I mean, a quick Google could probably help us here.
Oh yeah, maybe. Let's say. Shit. Eating. Okay. I don't.
Wait,
Maybe it's like
possibly a contraction of grinning like a possum eating shit. Later detached.
Oh, okay. So like an animal like eats shit.
Later detached from meaning and persisting due to its vividness. So I guess it has to do with like an animal, like a pig and shit.
Okay.
Maybe? I don't know.
I could understand that. Like animals are happy when they eat poop because they're just animals.
Right. They're not humans.
The also oh my God, there was one other one that I just thought of and then I looked it up and now I'm distracted. If you don't, what was it? If you don't like me at my worst, you don't deserve my best or whatever that is. Like, that's like very egotistical of you to say.
That is very like AOL profile-esque, like I'm gonna be cryptic and like stick it to you, away message like material.
But again, like think of the ego you have to say that.
Say that.
Because that means that your worst is always the side that people see. And like nobody gets to see your best. So why is that a brag?
No, I mean, I guess situationally, like if like you're really like if you were in a situation where like your friend is your friend or your relationship is your relationship, and then you have like a really, really like low point in your life and like they really like do a 180 on you, then okay to use it. But like if you're just like, you know, testing the water and like you're giving your crazy right away, you cannot use that. You can't. Right. I'm sorry, you can't.
Like that's something that somebody on like Love is Blind would love to use. Like,
oh my God.
And they're terrible people.
Love.
Which we are recording this on a Wednesday. The finale did drop today.
I know, but we're not. I know that was the only bad thing about moving it to today. But
yeah,
I've had a rough week.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a rough week because my well, I think I've said this before, but I have like a really bad TMJ problem, but it starts from like my neck. I've constituted from the doctor that like I saw, like they're like, you have neck problems, and that's making your jaw and whatever. So I got a night guard. The night guard helps, but
Good.
my neck, I have not been sleeping properly. So my neck is like very out of whack, and I'm back to getting like headaches, and it's just like, really uncomfortable. So
You're gonna
we've
get
had a rough few
acupuncture.
days. I hate needles. You think I'm gonna get acupuncture?
You don't see them. It'll be in your back.
Absolutely not. No.
It probably
and
would help
no.
you so much.
I would suffer in pain.
What
rather
about
than get
cupping?
acupuncture. I mean, I probably could do that too, but like it's like my nerves. Like it's the nerves that are the problem.
So you just need a good massage.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, so that wasn't my ridiculous thing. What my ridiculous thing is that okay, so I need everybody to come on this journey of my brain. Which is probably the most ridiculous thing of this entire story. But I started a list in my phone of where are they now? Or like what happened to these people, right? So
For
I
this
started a
podcast
list.
specifically, or it's been
No,
ongoing?
it's just like random like celebrities that I'm like, what happened to that person?
Okay.
It started because I was editing last week's podcast and we were at the Glenn Powell, Sydney Sweeney
Yes.
part. And I was thinking about how Natasha Bedingfield came on stage and like she was like
Yes.
being weird with them. But what happened? So this list kicked off because I needed to know what happened to Daniel Bedingfield and his most annoying song ever. Got to get through this. Like, where did he go?
Is that
Where did he
her
go?
brother?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they're siblings, but like again, both were kind of like so Natasha Bedingfield had like 2 hits, but so she was a 2-hit wonder. He was a 1-hit wonder. Where the fuck did he go? Where did he go? Where did he go?
I don't know. Did you look it up?
No, didn't look it up. And then immediately after, my second thought was what also happened to the entire cast, minus Jessica Biel and minus the dad from Seventh Heaven. Where are the rest of them? Where are they? What are they doing with their lives?
I don't know
Specifically, where is Matt and Simon Camden? Because the girls you could find. The girls have Instagrams. You could find them. Where are they? What happened to them?
A lot of weird stuff went down on that set. I have a feeling.
Absolutely that show. So then now I get into my brain of how much I love that show, right? And here I am thinking,
so messed up.
And here I am thinking about the show, and I'm like, wow, I love that show so much. The one time I fell asleep at the table was on a Monday. My mom made this dinner that I absolutely hate, and like I was gonna ask on the podcast, like, you know how your parents would be like, if you don't eat your dinner, you gotta sit here. Like, I don't care if you fall asleep at this table. Okay, so the one time that my mom enforces this rule, it's a Monday, Seventh Heaven is on, and I'm like livid because she is not letting me get up at the table. I literally fell asleep at the table. Like, I fell asleep at the table. And I always will remember that it was a Monday, and I like woke up and I was like, I missed Seventh Heaven. And she was like, no, you didn't. It's been a half hour and you're not watching it because you didn't finish your dinner. So like, okay. Anyway. So now I'm thinking about this dinner that I hated, right? I hated it. And I don't know if this is just like a my parent thing or if it was like a Brooklyn Queens dinner. Anyway, did your parents ever feed you? My parents say peas and pasta, but I think it's peas and pasta. So like peas and pasta.
Macaroni and peas.
Okay, see? Okay, so your family. I think my parents' accent just comes out as peas and pasta, but it's peas and pasta, probably. Anyway.
Yeah, my mom loved making macaroni and peas, and I don't like peas. So.
I loathed this dinner. Loathed it. So now I'm thinking about it, right? And I'm like, oh, I hate that fucking dinner. Like, I don't know why she ever made that, like, whatever. And my parents are like, they love it. They love it. So I guess it's a Brooklyn thing, Queens thing, whatever. Anyway.
It must be.
I don't know.
Cheap dinner, too.
Right,
you know.
exactly.
Yeah.
So this, and for people that don't know, it's literally pasta with peas, onions, and like, I don't know, chicken broth to give it a little bit of flavor.
I was gonna say a little bit of butter.
Yeah, it's literally nothing spectacular. Anyway, so now I pick up my car last night because it was in the shop. It was getting an oil change. So I pick up my car and I am driving and I found out, I don't even remember. Oh, Stuck in the Middle with You. I thought that song was the Beatles for forever. I thought it was the Beatles.
Is it an offshoot of the Beatles?
No. So now here I am listening to 70s on 7, and I'm like, this isn't the Beatles. So I call my mom appalled. And I'm like, did you know this wasn't the Beatles? She was like, no, it's not the Beatles. I said, well, are any of the Beatles in this band? I don't even know who it was. But they don't sing that song. So let that sink in, everyone. And I hear the clanking of the bowl. And I'm like, I said, well, what did you make for dinner? And she goes, piece of pasta. I was like,
Triggered.
When I tell you, I said, I hate that you're eating that because I literally had an entire external thought process about it today. That stemmed from Seventh Heaven and Daniel Benningfield.
How did we get here? Why? But seriously, macaroni and peas was, I know, like the cheap Italian dinner because like anybody could afford macaroni and peas, but it's so boring.
It sucked. It was so bad.
And I mean, coming from Jess, who literally eats her pasta plain with butter, but
and then they would always be like, just eat around the peas. I'm like, but the pasta's contaminated now. No.
Okay, well, unless you mush the peas around, they shouldn't really be contaminated.
It was not for me. It was just not for me. I hated it. And she was eating it after I had this entire thought process. But I did decide that I'm just going to keep this like ongoing note of people as I think about them.
Okay.
And the last addition to this note was today when randomly there it goes again, here it goes again, whatever that song is by OK Go. What happened to them?
With the treadmills?
Yeah, where did they go?
That was such an epic music video.
Just also let me know why, like, randomly I started saying, here it goes, at my desk. And I didn't even realize
that was
I was
on Rock Band or Guitar Hero, right?
Yeah, Rock Band, I think. But
yeah,
either way, where did those people go? What happened to them?
Know.
In the age of social media, none of us are finding them.
And they were like a big YouTube video. Like that was a big YouTube video when YouTube was like first the thing.
Exactly. I needed everybody to come on that journey with me. And
were you only thinking specific to like musical artists? Oh no, because you said actors.
It's just as I said, like once it came into my head, I'm like, where's that person?
Because on the same note, what happened to the kids? What happened to kids like from the guy that made like the shoes video like on YouTube?
Yes, where did they
and
go?
Like the muffins, it's the same guy.
Yes,
like what
same
happened
guy.
to them?
Where did he go? Why is he not like Miss Rachel?
Well, like, those videos are not really for kids.
No, but I just mean like what happened to him? Like why did he not?
He's in his like probably like 40s now or something.
No, but why didn't he stick his YouTube sensation then? Is what I'm saying.
I don't know. You would think all these people would like gain a following if they like kept it up on TikTok or something. But even think back, all the Vine stars, like they don't even really have success on TikTok anymore.
Oh, listen, fine. Like we got rid of that. That was
Is
good.
Chris Crocker okay?
Who is that?
Isn't that am I getting the name wrong? Isn't that the Leave Britney Alone guy?
I don't remember him.
What? He's like the viral video when like Britney was like getting like leave Britney alone. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh my God, that was like huge. And now I'm like wondering if anybody, I didn't see any newspaper articles. Like I wonder if anybody reached out to him after the whole like emancipation freedom thing for her happened.
I don't even like, I don't know. I just really genuinely like. Also,
I know there's plenty
I feel like
that watch this.
I think the Seventh Heaven thing came to me too because we were watching Suits, and we're watching it for a second time. But when I can't really say what the plot is, but I realized that Theo Huxtable is in Suits, and I didn't realize the first time I watched it, and then he came on this time, and I was like, "That's Theo."
Oh, I never watched.
And I'll tell you where he's at, like after the fact, because you watched Suits, but I don't want to ruin it if nobody watched Suits.
I only watched the first 3 seasons. I never finished it.
Oh, then I would ruin it for you, so never mind.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to pick back up again. I kind of DNF'd that for now.
Okay.
Anyway. But Seventh Heaven, I love getting the TikToks of some guy that's like, did we not talk about how messed up this show was?
Oh my God, I love him. I watch his reels. I watch his reels all the time. Like the one where the mom is like, I smoked pot.
No, how about the one where the girl wanted to practice kissing on her brother?
That's what.
That one just popped up yesterday, and I was like, people watch the show religiously? Like, what is going, literally and figuratively? I'm like, what
Right.
is
No,
going on here?
listen, I think it was like the times. Like it was a good show for the times.
It was the 90s. It wasn't like,
Yeah, I don't know, but I obviously didn't take it like that, literally, like that episode. Or when they tried to like keep the homeless kid in their house. Like
yeah.
they were like treating her like a pet. Like that was
Wait,
weird
was
too.
the episode with the mom admitting to smoking pot, was that the same episode they literally locked in the aunt that had like an addiction problem?
I don't know. See, the thing is that I like never like rewatched, and I probably
Okay.
won't because of the whole thing with
Because
the
I've
whole
seen that
the
clip
dad and
too.
everything. But um, no, I was obsessed with that show. I was obsessed with Growing Pains. Obsessed with
I never
Growing
watched
Pains.
that either.
Really? Oh,
Mm-mm.
I was like, where's Carol Seaver? Where is she?
I don't even know who that is.
She was the sister. Leonardo DiCaprio and Alan Thicke are like really the only like names that came out of Growing Pains. Kirk Cameron's like a weirdo now.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the siblings and the mom, like what happened to them? What
Yeah.
happened to them?
That's,
You just
well,
never got an
we've
acting gig
learned,
again?
we've learned those shows kind of ended up being that people disappeared for reasons. Like things messed up happened to them, or it was just like,
I mean, yeah,
they were child stars that could never grasp anything else. Like,
right. Which
so shows were a dime a
happens.
dozen. Like, it's hard for
I know,
anybody
but I
to break
love
out.
shows like that. I wish that we had them still. Sorry for their psychological problems, but it was good entertainment. Like they were well written sitcoms.
Yeah, I feel like all like the sitcom age is definitely over, obviously. Like it ended
Yeah.
with like How I Met Your Mother.
I mean, I'm
and
thriving. I'm thriving in my reality TV stage right now.
Mhm.
But
It'll
I
make
do
a
miss
comeback
sitcoms.
eventually. It cycles out.
Right.
Sitcoms will come back down the line. It's only a matter of time.
Let's talk about the one topic that we forgot about last week, and then we were kicking ourselves for the see-through baseball pants.
Oh yes, let's.
So, for those that don't know, they changed. I believe the MLB changed uniform distributors. So Nike took over right? Nike took over.
Fanatics took over from Nike.
Oh, got it. Which
Yeah.
I don't understand why in the year of 2024 we're hiring Fanatics to do anything, because I really don't see like what the hype is around them.
A huge company.
The quality of their shit is terrible, honestly.
Right.
And it's so overpriced, and I just don't understand why we're not making things affordable for the fans, but that's neither here nor
If
there.
anybody was a customer of Fanatics and they were in charge of the MLB, they should have known that the quality of the jerseys were, I don't know why they would have won that bid, because just the fan apparel is dirt. So I don't know why you would expect them to make good uniforms.
100%. So anywho, spring training starts 2 weeks ago, and all the men most wear white pants. Most teams
Yes, they do.
are either in white pants or gray pants. Most of them white. And they put on their pants, and not only were their teammates realizing, but the fans could see right through their pants.
Right through them.
Which, for the ladies in the house,
the female gaze.
Listen, we're not going to complain, but still, at the same time, I as much as I'm not going to complain, I still feel like I would be like, if I was at the game and I could, like, I would be like, what is this? What is happening here? Like,
yeah. And the biggest problem was that not only could you see
this isn't Little League, like we ordered from a bad distributor, like, oh my God, we could see through the pants. Everybody go buy a new pair of pants. Like,
right.
You are a professional baseball team.
Right. How did nobody sample that beforehand? Like, no, how did nobody model it?
Right, that too. I don't understand that either.
You would think, I feel like when you watch movies and TV shows, there's so many decision-making levels that go into decisions like this as a business. And the fact
they
that
got
they
no
just went
samples
right to
and
order,
nobody went like this. Like, no one went like this with the sample to see.
Like, you can literally see the pocket outline. You could see who was wearing a jock strap, who wasn't. You could see who was wearing tighter underwear than others. Or not wearing anything at all. Which, again, for the female baseball fans out there, not a horrible problem, but gotta be uncomfortable for the guys, don't you think?
Right, like I think they said, like they were very, like, and how do you play then, like knowing the entire stadium?
I think they now know what it feels like for the girls in A League in Our Own to be wearing skirts.
Touche.
So maybe that was a lesson that needed to be learned, but I haven't heard anything since. Has it been fixed? Like, did they recall them? What's going on?
I think that they definitely were. I know that when I did see it on the news, they said that they were working on fixing the problem, but like, have I heard if it was actually fixed? No.
Because
Negative.
if I was like a baseball player, I'd be like, I'm wearing the old pants until you fix these ones.
100%.
Which I know goes against, like, they get fined and stuff,
Literally,
but
if this was women's sports, there would be an entire protest because, like, we would not stand for that, and we're used to shit like this happening to us. I feel like the men don't know what to do.
right, but like there has to be somebody in charge that's like, okay, let's everybody keep wearing their old stuff until
Right,
we
but you
figure this
remember
out.
when we got didn't this happen with us with our softball pants? Like one year, like I feel like our white pants, like didn't we have to get new white pants because the first pairs were like very see-through?
Maybe they were like really thin, yeah.
Right.
Especially for the bigger booty gals.
Right. Yeah.
Not naming any names, but myself.
Mine didn't fit in those pants either.
Yeah. So
Mine didn't fit in those pants either.
And I'm pretty sure that was like immediately rectified. So you do hope that the MLB,
right, because we're women and we're like we're not
fixed it.
doing this. Like
I'm gonna look it up. MLB see-through pants.
If they rectified it.
Yeah. As of 5 days ago,
it was not taken care of.
It was not taken care of. 4 days ago, what's up with the see-through pants? Shrinkflation. I mean, like, you can literally see the flaps of the pockets. Like, it's ridiculous.
I think when the pants came originally for us, we saw that you could see through them without even putting them on us. Like, yeah. I don't think we put them on and we were like, we're not wearing these.
Oh, they're Nike generated, but Fanatics produced. So it's really both It's both companies' problems.
I think that we should have stuck with Majestic being the
it's
MLB
because everything
distributor.
In this shrinkflation, as they just said in that article, it's true. Now they're getting cheap with their fabric. It's thinner.
100%.
So they're trying to cut costs, and so instead everybody gets a show.
Yeah.
In the show. Yeah. So
all right. I have one last thing before you take your deep dive into our last topic, but hold on. I have a fuzz in my mouth.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Probably your dog's hair.
Probably. Anyway, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but when you get so this morning I went to Starbucks and I got an iced latte and they tried to give me a straw before they handed me my latte. And I was like, oh no, I don't need the straw. Because I am probably, I guess, maybe the only person that actually likes the sippy cup lid.
I like it.
Okay, but when I refuse the straw, I feel like they think I'm being a bitch.
But isn't the point of the sippy cup to save plastic?
The straw, yeah, exactly. But I don't know why they keep handing me the straw, but I'm like, oh, I don't need it. I'm like, oh, I don't need the straw. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm doing them a disservice, or I'm making their life.
This might just be your Starbucks problem, because any Starbucks I go to, they hand me my drink and they say, do you want a straw? Like, they ask me.
They're literally at the drive-thru. I don't know if it's just because it's rush hour, so they're so impromptu, people asking for the straws that they're being proactive. But I'm like, no, I don't need it. And then I feel like I'm inconveniencing them. Should I have just taken the straw? But I don't use it, so then I feel like it's more of a waste. But then I think that they are oh, this girl's a bitch. And then I spend 20 minutes of my drive being like, oh, I should have just taken the straw. So I felt like I was the only one not taking the straw, but I'm glad that you're not either.
No, but also I'm not being offered it. What's the point of putting a straw through a sippy cup hole?
I don't know, but I don't like it. Also, I gave up bread for Lent.
All
so
bread?
I did bagels, donuts, sandwich bread.
Okay.
Not like tortillas, but I haven't been eating croissants because bread. I don't know. So I went to McDonald's for coffee to avoid wanting a Starbucks croissant.
McCafe is horrible.
No, I think it's better than Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, well, anything's better than Dunkin' Donuts, obviously.
Right. Okay, so anyway, I went there to get a caramel iced coffee. And you also only like black coffee, so like maybe that's why I don't realize that it's like shitty coffee, because I get it flavored, so the flavor's masking the crappiness. So anyway, so I got a coffee there instead so that I can get a hash brown for my drive. And their paper straws are superior at McDonald's. I just want to give them a shout out on that.
I know, but just you need a fountain soda out of a plastic straw. It doesn't hit the same.
No, I agree with that. But the coffee, like the straw did not disintegrate.
Okay, that's good.
And for that is what I'm giving them the credit to. I'm not saying it definitely affects the flavor of things. I give you that. But
so that's why every time Starbucks hands you a plastic straw that you don't need, you should keep it in your car for when you go to McDonald's. Or anywhere that gives you a paper straw. That's what I do. I keep plastic straws at home because I drink iced coffee every day, so because of that. But then also
I have plastic straws too.
Yeah, but also I do have a couple in my glove box in my car because I'm like, they give me a paper straw, that ain't happening. A drive, it's gonna disintegrate.
Yeah, I just think that like I was impressed with the quality of the paper straw.
Okay, they'll be glad to know.
Yeah, listen, I'll give credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
I'm sorry that you don't like their coffee, but anyway.
No, I mean, it's okay. I am very picky about my coffee. It's
yeah, well, you like strong coffee. Like, you like coffee. I like the flavoring in the coffee.
You just want the caffeine, but not to actually taste it.
Right. Like, I can have, like, somewhat strong coffee, but, like, I really need flavor in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't drink it. I used to drink it black. Now I do the splash of oat milk. But either way, like, it needs to look like there's barely a drop in it. Like,
right.
Just to take the bite off.
Right.
Basically.
A little bit.
Yeah. But otherwise, like, I definitely needed to taste like coffee. Like 1,000%. So I understand that people have different rankings of coffee based on that.
Yeah.
So that's that topic.
All right, go off the deep end. Let's go.
So, to our friends, last week we had in our title, Where's Kate? And I feel like we didn't really give it its due. And so we had a lot of feedback from our friends' fans. We're going to have to come up with better names of our fans.
Besties. Our besties.
To please go into more detail about what's going on with Kate Middleton this week. Because as people know, I am a big royal watcher. I do love The Crown. I've always been kind of fascinated with it. So I am very concerned for our girl, Catherine. So I'm just gonna go from there. I did look
I'll ask questions along the way because I am not really into, I don't really know the conspiracies. All I know is that I spent most of my youth crushing on Harry, and well, in my youth, my crush was on William. In my adulthood, it's very much on Harry. And that's all I'll say about that.
Okay. So that's what I'll say about that. So, yeah, that's where I stand on it. But I did go down for research for this topic. I did kind of fall down a Reddit rabbit hole a little bit, which can be very dangerous. Oh, I'm excited when it comes to conspiracy theories. But I'm getting a little closer to the screen here so I could read because I'm blind. I'm just going to provide you with a nice little timeline, okay? Because for anyone that doesn't know, all right? So officially, the story is that on January 17th, she went for an abdominal surgery, a non-cancerous abdominal surgery she would have to be in the hospital for, I don't know, basically the whole month of January, she was going to have to be in the hospital to recover for, which people were already speculating, like, what kind of surgery would have you that long in the hospital for?
Right, because I feel like for a lot of people, and I'm not saying like, I don't know, I feel like you hear that you're having abdominal surgery, honestly, first thought was like, okay, maybe she's getting her tubes tied or something like that. Yeah, like minor
or a tummy tuck.
Right, minor or a tummy tuck. Those are my two like right off the bat, like this is what she's getting done. But you are not in the hospital for that long for either of those procedures.
No. So also they said the surgery was planned, but how is it planned if then they had to go ahead and cancel all of her engagements that were planned?
Right.
Don't you think they would have not made those engagements on the calendar if it was a planned surgery. So
right,
already
unless they planned
the
it. Well,
flags
what if
are
they
up.
planned it last minute? But still, I agree with you.
Right.
Like, you would think that they wouldn't cancel those things last minute, like knowing the severity of the surgery. Like, the day it was scheduled, you would have canceled your plans.
Right. So it's all shrouded in secrecy. They make an announcement. They say, please, respect her privacy. We're not going to give out more details, but there are very few non-life-threatening surgeries that require a 2-week or more hospital stay, especially somebody who definitely has access to like round-the-clock healthcare at home if they wanted to. So why would you need to be in the hospital that long if you could just sit at home? Okay. So she also wasn't seen like basically after or around Christmas either, which was before the surgery. So, I'm not sure. Okay. Things, I'm going to refer back to my list now, okay? For her birthday, which was January 9th, before the surgery was even announced, the press announced that she was spending her birthday pampered at home. Why is she being pampered
So
at her
she's
parents'
technically
house?
been missing since, like, Christmas. And I say missing, like, very loosely, but missing.
Right. She has not been seen in public for like 70 days from today. Which is like quite a lot of time. Okay.
Especially for a royal. Like,
right.
That's
and
like
up until
not seeing, like, I don't want to say Taylor Swift because, like, we haven't seen her for 70 days because, like, she went on hiatus. But, like, that's like not seeing, like, anyone in the media, like the president for 70 days. Essentially.
And it's not even like until this photo that came out of her in the car a couple of days ago, there wasn't even a photo like that. Like no blurry photos, like nothing of the sort of her moving from place to place. So like you would think she literally has not moved since she went into hiding, quote unquote, right?
Right.
Very weird. Her parents, her siblings, nobody was seen. So, and this is the same woman, who literally within 24 hours of giving birth was in full hair and makeup on the front steps of the hospital.
Right,
so
exactly, which is what is making me be like, something is not right here.
And besides this, there's always been rumors of infidelity. Okay, William has been known to be a little unfaithful. Obviously, none of it was ever confirmed, but there were some pretty solid
Taking
stories.
after his father.
Like father, like son, unfortunately. And so there were some people saying that, maybe their relationship's on rocky ground and her going into surgery and needing recovery time is really just her needing to get the hell away from her husband, who is now even more in the spotlight because his dad is also probably dying. I don't know. That's another weird story.
Right, because he has well, I think the weird thing for me was like they came out and like both of them were having surgery in the same week or in the hospital in the same week. And then they come out and they're like, this is what's going on with King Charles. Here's all the details. And then it's like, oh, Kate who?
I know. It was subterfuge.
Like, that's what's weird about it.
Yep. So something's just really off. I'm thinking it's also, not to now bash your fave, but it's definitely a funny coincidence that Charles is going down. William and Kate are rocky. Kate's nowhere to be seen. Now all the other princes are coming out of the woodwork. All of a sudden, Harry and Meghan over in the United States of America are all over the news again.
Oh, I just want to raise my hand. Listen, I might like be Team Harry, but I'm not saying I'm Team them together. I did want to watch their documentary, but I am very skeptical about that relationship. Don't you worry.
Everything about that relationship is fake AF. And
it's just, I don't even know if it, like, I just don't understand how, we'll go back to them after. Let's go down there rabbit hole.
Is it a coincidence that everything is wrong is happening with this family now, and all of a sudden Meghan and Harry are over in the United States going like, oh, look at us going to a football game with Leo. Oh, look at us. We have a new book deal. Like, oh, so now your life is trending up as everybody else in your family is going down. Like, what a happy coincidence. Now, all the Princess Anne's doing so much more work. The poor thing. I love her so much, and I'm just so sad that she's not even still.
Who was she? Charles' sister?
Charles' sister, Queen Elizabeth's firstborn.
Okay.
Princess Anne. She unfortunately, I thought everybody said that if Charles died, obviously William would become king. And then, God forbid, William dies for some God knows reason, then obviously George is next in line. But if, let's say, William died before George was like mature age, Harry would end up being his like king regent or something like that. Which, if anybody watched Game of Thrones, is like Hand of the King, basically. Like you're like running the show while the kid's still a kid kind of thing. Like, which is bullshit because it really should be Princess Anne, but because the whole women can't succeed the throne thing didn't happen until after Princess Charlotte was born, Princess Anne didn't get to benefit from that. So she's doing all of these royal engagements with nothing except being a princess royal. And poor thing. And she's in like her 70s too. Like she ain't no young sprig, like she's healthy, I've heard. But like, whatever. Then you got
till she takes that throne.
Right. Then you got Prince Edward, who has always been God knows where. I don't know what he's doing with his life. And then all of a sudden now Prince Andrew's coming out of the work, Mr. Epstein's buddy. So I don't really know what's going on here. But this family.
Well, no one takes him seriously. No one. Everybody knows he's the problem child, Andrew.
And Queen Elizabeth knew. She liked him as a son. Like from the
but she
Crown
was like,
said.
Disengage yourself.
Well, yeah, if you go by what the Crown is, which is obviously you don't know if it's real or not, but he was her favorite child. Like he was the most affectionate.
Till he was hanging out with Jeff.
But obviously she ran her throne with an iron fist. Then if you did weird shit, like you need to take a step back. Like she knew. So all I have to say is I don't know where Princess Kate is. I'm hoping it all is just like a cover of their marriage. As much as I wouldn't want to see it fall apart, I really hope she's not like dying.
Right.
I mean, she looks alive from that photo, so that's good. But like, I don't know what's going on. I understand. I respect their privacy. She is entitled to privacy. But at the same time, when you are the woman who stood on steps with your newborn child and made that precedent, you can't now be asking for privacy. You should have been doing that from the start.
Right. But
the times are
even
changing.
If she wanted privacy, like,
yeah,
if you want privacy, I just feel like you should be don't be transparent, but you're leaving too many holes for people to insert themselves and come up with these scenarios.
Yeah.
So
the no news is news. Is what I say.
Exactly. Like, in regards to Harry and Meghan, though, the thing with them is that I don't understand the whole I didn't know who he was on her part. That makes zero sense because you grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the 90s. After Princess Diana died, those boys were on the cover of People magazine at least 2 times a month. At least 2 times a month. And I'm sorry, but you are also, you're a celebrity, and you're going to tell me that you weren't a 10-year-old girl walking around the supermarket in the checkout line being like, oh my God, Prince William, Prince Harry, like the rest of us? I believe not. So that's my one skepticism about her. And then I did want to watch their Netflix series just because I was very intrigued on, like, I feel like I'm intrigued by them because I don't believe how she didn't know who he was. And like, I kind of wanted to like just hear like his, like the story, like from their point of view.
The Netflix thing is not going to make you feel better. It's going to make it worse because the series, the documentary is just so fabricated.
I'm sure.
So
the other thing is that, and I don't know if you felt this way. So I only saw like part of one episode because my mother-in-law was watching it at my house. And like when she was here watching the baby, and then we came in and she was watching it. But I don't know if you felt this way watching Suits, but when I watched Suits and then I heard her talk on the thing, it was like, you sound exactly like your character. And I don't know if her character is like her personality and that's why they go coexist, like, you know what I mean? Or if she is just not like genuine. And like, I don't care for her character on Suits. So I just feel like it's not that I don't like her, but I don't like how, like, I don't like her playing her. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I think if it was played by another person, like, I wouldn't be as annoyed.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand them.
it comes down to her, like you just said, being fake and everything is an act. And I think that bleeds over into her press barrage through their marriage, through everything.
Right.
So
I'm not saying that I don't like, the thing with Harry is that like I know that like he definitely, obviously, like those kids went through like a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Not making like any sort of excuses for that. But I also feel like even his relationships were up and down, up and down. But like if this girl is like, if she's the one being fake, like I could see why he would fall into that trap. Kind of, if that makes sense.
I almost don't, but you know what? I don't think he fell into a trap. Everybody likes to paint it as like, oh, she stole him away. I think throughout Harry's whole life, or at least from the time that Diana died, he always wanted a way out. He always wanted to be out.
I agree with that as well. Yes.
And she was just his ticket. Like she was his ticket. Like
I agree with that stance, actually.
So
that was probably a better way to say what
Right.
I was trying to like get at, because I feel like he tried to date like the girls in Britain, and I don't think that worked out for him. And this was his like, but her acting like, oh, I don't know who you are. He felt like that was his way like out. And obviously this is all like our opinion and speculation. We don't need the Brits coming for us, but
well, the Brits agree with us. The Brits are very not.
He very much, you could tell that he hated what his mother went through and didn't want to be in that situation himself.
For sure.
Which I respect him for that part, because he understood, you know, it was just traumatic what they went through, which is terrible. But
yeah, so that's what we have on Kate. I know that really wasn't like any breaking news, but that is what we're at so far. Anything new that drops will be discussed. I do think that was really her in the car. I saw some conspiracy theories saying that's not really her. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's her.
Yeah,
she's
I didn't
in the
see
car
the
with her mother. Like, I think it's her.
I didn't see the picture, but I know I said like to you, like we haven't even seen a picture of her leaving the house. Like that's weird.
So that's good. And they did say she should be resuming duties after Easter, and it isn't Easter yet. So maybe, you know, everybody's just getting a little restless, you know, which again, I think that more comes down to the fact that there's radio silence. It's been a little suspicious also that within the last couple of weeks, Williams canceled a bunch of engagements, like, you know, his godfather's funeral and like he was supposed to speak at, and like a couple other things that like you wouldn't think he would skip. He's skipping, and it's a little suspicious as to why. I don't know if that's related to Kate's health issue, related to King Charles' health. I still can't even say that. Every time I stumble over it.
But I also think that this because for 30 years, like not even the fact that like for 30 years of our life, he was the prince. So like you're not used to it.
Like God Save the King? Ew. Can you imagine that for our entire lifetime? Like the song of Britain was God Save the Queen, and now it's God Save the King? Like, ew. Ew. And it will be that way for the next 3 monarchs. So, interesting. Unless, you know, something happens down the road. If there even is a monarchy, maybe this is the beginning of the end for the British monarchy. Maybe they're all just going to fall like dominoes until somebody says, you know what, I think we're out. So, stay tuned.
I don't know. But I do want to say, in summary, and we're coming to the end of our time anyway, but I do want to say that we're the low budget podcast that we are. We are on brand with our topics. And I just want to say, for the podcast that we follow and the people that are out there on social media, like we're saying the same shit as those people. So if you're our friends and you're not supporting us, you're missing out.
Yeah, like we have sent each other several reels or TikToks of other podcasts, and we're like, we literally had the same conversation. But
we're proud of ourselves. We're proud of ourselves.
So people, share us with your friends. Say, you don't have to know these girls. They're freaking funny.
And we're knowledgeable.
Not to toot my own horn, which is another phrase that some people can't stand. You know what? If you don't deserve us at our low budget, you don't. If you don't love us at our low budget,
you don't love us at our worst. You don't deserve us when we make it to our best.
Deserve us at our best. Which is hopefully when we get like mics or something. I don't know.
have a mic. I just can't use it because
Maybe
my
we should
headphones.
graduate to holding mics.
That would be worse.
Like
We
actual
talk with our
microphones.
hands. We can't hold a mic.
I know.
We'll be
And we're
flinging it
holding a
around.
drink. I know, that would be like a whole thing. You're right. We both
Anyway,
just did the hair flip at the same time. That was adorable. At least I fixed my life. Jess knows from when we were in college, I always used to flip my hair forward.
like a weirdo.
And it drove her nuts.
No, wait. Not only me, it drove our entire team nuts.
I used to go,
It was worse because you did it
I'm
for the
sweating.
dramatic effect purposely.
Anyway.
Wow, I feel like I had so many more I have so many more things on my brain now that we could have talked about. Like
I know.
we're at the end of our time.
Unfortunately, our time is coming to an end, but you
I'm
know
already
what?
adding a note for next week.
Note for next week. Again, share with your friends, people that don't know us. Tell them to give us a chance. And we love you all.
Thanks for being our friend. Come back next
Bye.
week. Bye.
Yeah, please. Bye.
Hi, friends. Wow, you listened to the whole thing. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Ratings, reviews, and comments help as well. See you next week. Thanks for being our friend.